Can a cat truly forgive you? Most cat owners believe their feline friends are aloof, independent, and forgetful. But the truth is far more complex. Yes, cats can forgive. They can even rebuild trust after a mistake. But there's one specific act that leaves a lasting mark. An act that, once done, a cat will remember forever. And chances are, you've done it without even knowing. This isn't about forgetting to feed them or skipping a play session. It's about something deeper. A breach of trust that changes how your cat sees you. And the consequences? They can be silent but powerful. Avoidance, loss of affection, or even fear. That's why understanding this one thing is crucial, not just for your cat's well-being, but for your relationship with them. In this video, we're going to explore what cats are actually capable of forgiving, how they show signs of emotional memory, and most importantly, the one thing they never forget. If you've ever felt like your cat was holding a grudge, or if you just want to make sure your bond stays strong, this is something you need to hear. Now, let's talk about how easy it is to break a cat's trust, often without meaning to, and how you might have already done it. Every cat owner wants to believe their pet feels safe and loved in their home. You feed them, play with them, maybe even talk to them like they're family, and they are. But despite all that care, there are moments, small, everyday moments, that can deeply affect how a cat sees you. Think back. Has your cat ever suddenly stopped sleeping near you or started avoiding eye contact? Maybe they hissed or swatted when you tried to pet them like you always do. It's confusing. You didn't yell, you didn't hurt them. So what happened? Cats are highly sensitive animals. They pick up on tone, energy, and body language. They notice when something feels off. And when their trust is shaken, they withdraw. Not out of spite, but out of instinct. That's their way of protecting themselves. And here's the hard part. Sometimes we cause this shift without realizing it. It might be the way you picked them up when they didn't want to be touched, or a loud voice during an argument that had nothing to do with them. Maybe it was leaving them alone for longer than usual without notice. These moments can trigger a deep emotional response. Not because your cat is dramatic, but because to them, safety means everything. And when that safety feels threatened, even a little, the emotional distance begins. As cat parents, we want to believe we're doing everything right. But sometimes, love alone isn't enough. Understanding how our behavior affects them, on their terms, is what really builds trust and keeps it strong. So, how do you know if your cat is still holding on to something? They won't tell you directly, of course, but cats speak volumes through their behavior. If you know what to look for, start by watching how your cat interacts with you after a tense moment. Do they flinch when you reach out? Do they hesitate before jumping into your lap like they used to? These might seem like small changes, but for a cat, they're meaningful. Avoidance is one of the clearest signs. A cat that suddenly spends more time under the bed or chooses to sleep in a different room isn't just exploring. They may be creating distance, not out of malice, but self-preservation. It's how they process fear or discomfort. Other signs can be even more subtle. A drop in appetite, less interest in toys they used to love, staring at you from a distance, but not approaching, or even excessive grooming, which can be a way of coping with stress. This is where many cat owners start to feel helpless. You want to fix things, but your cat isn't giving you clear answers. And that's where anticipation turns into anxiety. Am I doing something wrong? Did I already break the trust? Recognizing these signs early is your first step. It's not about blaming yourself, it's about learning to speak their language. Once you do, you'll start seeing patterns. You'll start noticing when your cat is asking for space, or asking for reassurance. But to understand the full weight of what breaks that trust, we need to talk about the one act they truly never forget. Here it is. The one act cats never forget. It's not forgetting to feed them. It's not the trip to the vet. It's not even yelling, though that can hurt your bond too. It's betrayal of trust, specifically forcing your cat into a situation where they feel trapped, helpless, or scared, especially by your hands. This could be holding them down when they're trying to escape, picking them up against their will, especially when they're already anxious, physically punishing them, even lightly, or scaring them intentionally, thinking it's funny or harmless. What makes this act so damaging is the emotional contradiction. You're the person they rely on for food, comfort, safety. When fear enters that relationship because of something you did, their world becomes confusing and unsafe. Cats don't forget that feeling. They may eventually come closer again. They may sleep beside you again. But part of them remembers that moment when trust turned into fear, and unlike dogs, cats don't obey out of loyalty. They connect based on security. Once they lose that sense of safety, everything else can fade. The affection, the playfulness, even their desire to be near you. Many cat owners realize this too late. They think their cat is just moody, independent, that the bond will return on its own. But the truth is, once this emotional break happens, it takes conscious effort to heal it. But the good news is, it can be healed. The trust may be shaken, but it's not gone forever. Cats are not cold, they're cautious, and with patience, they can learn to trust again, even after a moment of fear or confusion. The first step is to give them space. Let your cat decide when to come closer. Don't force affection. Instead, let your presence become predictable, calm, and safe. Sit in the same room without trying to pet them. Let them observe you. This helps rebuild the idea that being near you doesn't equal danger. Use positive associations. Talk to them softly. Offer treats from a distance. Engage in short play sessions if they show interest. Let them lead. When they do approach, stay relaxed. Even if they come close, don't reach out too quickly. Let their body language guide the moment. Consistency is everything. If your cat sees that you're calm, gentle, and respectful every day, their guard will slowly come down. They may start sleeping near you again. They may bring back the slow blinks. One day, they might curl up beside you like they used to. And that moment will mean more than words ever could. But it takes time. And it takes you being honest about your own actions. What felt like a harmless moment to you may have felt terrifying to them. When you acknowledge that, you open the door to healing. Cats might not forget, but they do remember who tried to make things right. Every cat has their own way of showing love, fear, and forgiveness. And as humans, our responsibility isn't to be perfect. It's to be aware. A single mistake doesn't define your relationship with your cat. What defines it is how you respond afterward. Whether you choose to understand, to repair, and to grow. If you've seen any of the signs we talked about, avoidance, silence, distance, don't panic. Your cat hasn't given up on you, but they might be waiting for a sign that things are safe again, that you still see them, hear them, and care enough to earn back their trust. But what happens when the signs go unnoticed for too long? There are moments when a cat begins to emotionally check out. It's quiet, almost invisible at first. A missed greeting, a cold stare, less interest in anything, even you. These aren't random shifts. They're silent warnings. Your cat's last attempts to be understood before they truly pull away. If you want to catch those warning signs before it's too late, you need to know exactly what to look for. Click the video that just appeared on your screen and find out the 4 quiet behaviors your cat will show right before giving up on your bond. I'll see you there.